Hello, and welcome to In the Studio with Dole Designs. On our last video, we showed you how to put a woven veil on a wire-wrapped cabochon. Today we are going to put a decorative accent on a wire-wrapped cabochon. Today we're going to use the chain nose pliers, plush cutters, wire strippers, and of course our safety goggles. So not too many tools that are going to be necessary to put this decorative accent on. Our materials are going to be, of course, the wire wrapped cabochon. It is wrapped in a 20 gauge square half hard wire, and then the sides here and the wires are held together with a 20 gauge half round half hard wire. Then other material we're going to use is going to be a 28 gauge weave wire that I have put on a bobbin here. And the reason for the bobbin is to keep the kinks out of your wire. It does help instead of running it off a large spool of wire. The wire strippers are handy just in case we do get a kink, because you'll want to get that out very quickly so that your wire does not snap. So we will go ahead and get started. I'll put my safety goggles on here. Always want to have your safety goggles, because when you're working with wire and cutting it, you never know when that's going to break off and fly out. So always have that handy. Wear your goggles. I'm going to move our tools out of the way, and let's get started. So like in the other video, I showed you the wires that we used for the veil, and those were the two front wires. I'm going to do that again on this one. So I'm going to get these out of the way, and then the next two in line on each side, I'm going to move those out of the way. And so we're left with the back two wires here. And we're going to bend those around, because these are going to be the ones that we put the decorative weave on. So bend those like that. And the weave we're going to be putting on is called a 3-2 weave, but I'm going to do, instead of 3 single rotations, I'm going to use 5 single rotations in between. So then we'll be calling it a 5-2 weave. So we're going to start out, you can put the tail back here and hold on to it, at least for the first few rotations, just so that can get secure. And then we're going to take our wire and go over top and around the bottom of the two wires and complete 5 single rotations. 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to take it up and over both wires and back around 2 times for 2 rotations over both. And then again with the 5 single rotations. Always kind of push that down then with your fingernails after each set of rotations, and that keeps that tight. Keeps your weave nice and neat. And 2 full rotations over both wires. And I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up, and we'll go until we can take that around the front to show you the decorative aspect and where we close that off in the back. Here at Dole Designs, we do such a variety of jewelry designs. We do wire wrapping, wire weaving, cold forming. Oops, that second one over there. Cold forging, fold forming, silversmithing, and metal smithing. And we'll be doing a series of several videos on various processes, equipment, products, technique. So please be sure to like our page or our YouTube channel, and then click that little subscribe button, and you'll get notifications as we post new videos. If you're watching this one for the first time instead of the bail, be sure to go back and watch the bail video, and that'll show you how to completely finish off a wire wrapped cabochon. And we're just going to go far enough on here that we can bring that across the front. It's a very beautiful cabochon, so I'm not going to hide the cabochon itself. I want that to be the highlight. This is just going to be an accented decoration. There are so many different types of decorations you can do though. So once you learn this technique, you can take that a little bit further. You can take it further down the cabochon. You can do different swirls and designs, and even start doing some other weaves and patterns. Now if you did not want to weave this wire here, these two wires here, you could do the same thing on decorating it and just bringing them to across, and you'll see that when we do seal this off and bring it across. You could just do it with the wires themselves, and it's still very pretty. I've done it several times. So wonderful about jewelry design is it's only limited by your imagination. We're getting fairly close here, just a little bit further, and we'll go ahead and bring that across the front and show you how that looks and show you how to tie that off in the back. And then you can just watch the other video and finish off the bail if you haven't already, and go ahead and decorate that and finish it up. Like I said, if you get a kink in your wire, what you'll want to do is just take your wire strippers and just straighten it out. Just hold that really tight and then pull, and that straightens your wire out just beautifully. Always end your weave with single rotations as well. That holds the weave in place. I'm going to do just a few more here, and we'll go ahead and take that across. When you're doing this, always leave yourself at least about 1/4 of an inch at the end of your two wires here to tie it off in the back. So if you want to do quite an extensive weave or go across quite a bit of the cabochon, always leave yourself, pretend that's parts off there, always leave yourself at least that much to 1/4 of an inch to tie that off. So 1/4 of an inch off this shorter wire here, so it'd be about that much, somewhere in there. Alright, we are about finished here. I'm going to put these last single rotations in, and we will go ahead and tie that off into the back. And you know, always when you end it, do a few extra single rotations as well. With that extra security. I'm going to do that here. Alright. Okay, closer look at what that 5-2 weave looks like. At this point, if you know that it's going to go across, you can go ahead and cut this off, but I'm going to go ahead and wait till we get it across just to make sure we have all that we want. You can go ahead though and tie off your bail, or sorry, tie off your, cut off your little tail here, and then press that in. And this part here, don't cut that. That is your 20 gauge half round wire that you're going to use to tie off your bail, so make sure you don't cut that one. Now we're going to bring this, even though it's from the back, we're going to bring it across the front. Like this. use my telephone.
Call from Hamilton, 08.
And then we are going to cut this right here. And then we're going to bring this around, holding the front, because you want that bend there, and that keeps it in place. So you're going to be holding that there, bring that around, and there it's held in place. Then right when you get to this point here, we're going to go ahead, like I said, about 1/4 of an inch, because we're going to connect it. You're going to find a back wire to connect it to. Back wire I'm connecting it to is coming across here. So you can either use a tool or lift that up with your fingernails, just to kind of bring that up to give you a place to pull that around. So if you cannot get it with your fingernails, just kind of come over under with a flat edge or a tool. In my case, I can lift it up with my fingernail there, maybe. And then, there we go. And then again, about 1/4 of an inch. Cut those wires there. Now this is why I don't have any fingernails. I use my fingernails a lot. All of this. You should add that on as a part of the tool list. Now we're going to go ahead and loop these wires here around that wire there that I just raised up. And we're going to do that with our chain nose pliers. And that's why I like these little ones. They really get into some tight spaces and are easy to curve around. So you're going to take the wire right here, and you're just going to start curving it. And you're going to curve it up and under that wire that we just lifted up. And it'll fit right under there, like that. Now the more you curve it, should bring it right back up and meet with the other one, so that you do not have to mash that down. There we go. Just make sure it falls underneath and not over the top, so where it scratches. And there's one. And then we're going to flip it around and do the other part here. Again, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you can catch the upcoming videos. I plan to be doing these every week, so you can learn different techniques. And we're going to go anywhere from, like I said, complex to very simple techniques, and on a variety of areas. So this would be under wire wrapping or wire weaving, and I may put this under both. And we'll be doing some under silversmithing, basic techniques, metal smithing, fold forming, cold forging, just a variety of different techniques. So again, please subscribe and share to your friends. Now after you have secured this, you may have some little nicks here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. There we go. But my chain nose pliers nicked that, and you want to smooth that out. So I use the vintage relieving blocks a lot. You can use a nail salon buffing block, but I find these last a long time. So you're going to use the sandy portion. This one has seen better days. I've used it a lot. I usually have back stock of these. Go ahead and take the sanding portion, sand that nick out. And this is raised up off the cabochon, so you're not actually touching the cabochon, just that wire. And that does such a wonderful job of smoothing that out. And then you can take the buffing side and even add the shine back and make it very smooth. Fantastic. So there we go. Now you have a decorative woven accent on your beautiful cabochon. And again, check out the other video that we have posted, and that will show you how to complete that with a bail. Be sure to click the subscribe button.